Right. So same as usual, working at your own pace. If you need the rest, taking the rest. If you can keep it going, just keep it going, adapting the movements, the positions, whatever you need to do so. If you're seated, see if you can find a comfortable seated position that allows you to lift at the front so that you can breathe through the belly. So the abdominals are not, the abdomen is not compressed. I'm not forcing myself to breathe apically, to breathe in the chest. I'm trying to let the breath drop down into the abdomen, into the belly. If I'm lying down, allowing the legs to extend along the mat, the arms to open up and relax out to the side, letting go of any tension from across the front of the chest, to the throat, to the neck. And then see if you can find that nice relaxed breath. So feeling the belly expanding with the inhalation and then relaxing with the exhalation. I'm not forcing the belly to move, so I'm not trying to push it out. I'm trying to let the breath do that for me. So as you feel that the breathing is a little bit calmer, it feels a little bit more relaxed, and the body feels a little bit more relaxed, I'm going to start working through the neck. Turning the head to look over one shoulder, then coming back to the middle, and then I'm going to turn to look the other way. Nice and easy movement without forcing, just noticing the point where you feel that you're reaching the end range. So I feel that I can't go past this point, or if I go any further, I can feel that my neck is pinching, the movement starts feeling uncomfortable. I don't want to create discomfort. And then as you feel the movement starts getting a little bit looser, so the neck seems to be moving a little bit better, then I'm going to see if I can start adding a little bit more. So the next one, I'm going to turn to look over one shoulder, and then I'm going to tuck the chin down towards that shoulder. Then easing back, I'm going to turn to look over the other shoulder, and then I'm going to tuck the chin down towards that shoulder. Coming back, I'm going to turn, and then tuck it in, drop, come back, turn, tuck it in, drop. So see if you can, with a little tucking the chin, create a little bit more stretch down the side into the back of the neck. Turning the head back to the other way, and then tucking the chin, dropping the head. So same as usual, making sure that the movement is not creating pain, just a gentle stretch, maybe a little bit of discomfort, but not pain in the neck or any tingling down the fingertips or pain down the arms. 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Returning the head back to the middle. So a little bit more movement. I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to go for a little flexion extension. So I'm going to tuck the chin towards the throat as if I was trying to give myself a double chin. If I'm lying down, finger pressing the back of the neck down into the mat. Then I'm going to lift up. I'm going to send the chin up and towards the ceiling. I'm going to try and open up the front of the throat. And then I'm going to ease my way back. Tucking the chin in, see if I can lengthen and open up through the back of the neck. And then lifting up, looking up, lengthening through, see if I can create a stretch. Same as you need for the rotation, making sure that as the head is moving, it doesn't feel as if there is any pinching at the back of the neck, especially going into extension. And then play with the jaw. If I keep my mouth even slightly open and then look up, look back, it doesn't feel too bad. If I try and close my mouth, I can feel a slightly stronger pull down the front of the throat. If I press the tongue to the roof of the mouth, I can feel even a stronger stretch. So see if I can try and find that position that is really allowing the front of the neck and the front of the throat to lengthen and stretch out. Again, I'm not forcing anything. See if I can encourage a little bit of a better movement. 3, 2, Last one. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the neck. It's a little bit more movement into the neck. I'm going to drop down into the upper back. So starting off with a little extension, flexion, exactly as I did for the neck. I'm going to start ascending the chest forward, just keeping the chest out. I'm going to try and arch the upper back, lifting the back of the ribcage up and away from the mat to see if I can try and extend, open and lift at the front. And then I'm just going to release, pushing the ribcage into the floor, rounding the back a little bit more if I'm seated, as I've got the space to get the bigger movement. And then trying again, pushing the chest forward to see if I can encourage that lift, that extension through. And then I'm just going to ease my way back down. So think of the movement at the very top of the spine, at the very top of the ribcage. Sending the chest up, feeling the back of the ribcage trying to lift away from the ground. And then pressing the back of the ribcage down into the mat. Think of the front of the chest almost like a caving in. And then pushing down into the floor, or pushing back into the back of the chair, into the back wall. And then I'm going to try and open up and lift again. And then I'm just going to close and release. 5, extend. And flex. 4, extend. And flex. 3, 2, last time. And releasing back, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, it's a little bit more movement into the upper back. From flexion extension, I'm going to go into a little rotation. So no matter if you're lying down or sitting up, I'm going to raise the arms to the front, or keeping the hands together, or keeping the hands slightly apart. I'm going to start to rotate into the right. So I'm going to take the arms to the right. I'm going to reach as far around the right as I can, easing back to the middle, and then rotating to the left, reaching as far around the other way as you can. Coming back, and then over to the other side again. So if you're lying down on the mat, the same as usual, see if you can try and notice that nicer rotation from shoulder to shoulder. As the arms reach one way, I can feel one shoulder lifting off the ground. As the arms reach the other way, I can feel the other shoulder lifting away from the ground. If I'm sitting up, then imagine the spine to be like a pole. See if you can think of rolling yourself around that pole, but without twisting, without bending the pole out of shape. So see if I can keep it straight, just turning around, coming back, and then turning the other way, and then coming back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. It's a little bit more movement into the back. I want to stay with the rotation, but this time I want to try and create a little bit more opening across the front of the chest. So if you're lying down, I want you to roll over onto your side and setting yourself into your opening and closing doors. So the knees are bent, the legs are together. The bottom arm, I'm going to reach it right through. So I'm resting on the back of the shoulder. The head can be on the floor. Or if I find that that's not comfortable for the neck, I'm just going to put a pillar block underneath of the head. And then from there, I'm just going to start opening my way out to the side. This time, think of the back turning, back rotating. But at the same time, think of the chest opening up. And then I'm going to ease my way back. If you're seated, exactly the same. I'm going to focus on not the arm that is reaching across, but the arm that is coming with me. So I'm going to try and lift up, and then as if I was trying to pull the glass into the palm of my hand, I'm going to turn and then try to offer the glass to the person behind me. Then I'm going to ease back. I'm going to hold the glass onto the palm of the other hand, and then I'm going to turn to offer the glass to the person behind me the other way. So I'm going to turn and open, come back, turn and open the other side, and then back. So this time, see if you can focus on the opening. So as the arm reaches out and reaches behind, think of a nice gentle stretch going across the front of the chest, across the front of the shoulder. If you're lying down, making sure that you're opening to the back as you're rotating, as you're turning and taking the arm behind you, your legs are staying together and they're staying on the floor. So I'm not moving the all of the body, I'm just moving the upper body, the shoulders and the upper body. And then if I feel that the movement starts feeling a little bit easier, I feel it's a nice good opening of both ways, I'm going to see if I can change the reaches slightly. So instead of reaching with an open arm, I'm going to reach with a hand onto the back of the head. So I'm going to rest the hand behind my head or behind my ear, and then I'm going to turn and open out to the side. As if I was trying to reach the elbow out of the shoulder socket, creating the stronger opening across the front of the chest. I'm going to ease back. I'm going to take the other hand behind, and then I'm going to rotate to the other side. So noticing the difference with the shorter arm, with the hand behind the head, as I turn and open, I should be able to feel a little bit more movement at the very top of the spine. So see if I can try and encourage that rotation as I'm opening that way. 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, releasing the shoulder, relaxing the arm. If you're lying down, I want you to switch yourself onto the other side. So turning yourself the other way or lifting up and switching yourself around, whichever way works the better. If you're sitting up, it's the same position, but see if you can this time. Use the other arm to help you turn a little bit more. So as my right arm starts opening out to the right, with my left arm I'm going to hook onto the side of the leg and then encourage a little pull. So see if I can turn and reach just a little bit further around to the back. Then coming back, I'm going to use that left arm to help me with a little pull, and then with the right I'm going to reach a little bit further around to the back and then coming back. If you're lying down, it's the same as before, making sure that you're not twisting, you're not forcing the arm. See if you can turn the head to follow the arm around. So look at the hand, look at the arm as it's moving.
You've frozen, Mickey.
Where's Mickey gone?
She froze.
It disappeared. Maybe she's switching on again. Here she is.
Oh, I've lost you for a minute. Back. So everybody suddenly froze. So same as the other side, you're just keeping that movement going, try to create that nice opening across the front of the chest. If you feel that you can encourage a little bit more stretching across the front of the shoulder, then I'm going to do the same with the hand at the back of the head behind the ear. So I'm going to turn and try to open up a little bit deeper across one side. And then if I'm seated up, I'm going to turn the other way, see if I can open up a little bit deeper to the other side. We're just making sure that you don't feel tension gradually building into the neck. So the neck feels loose, the neck feels relaxed, so the shoulder doesn't feel as if it's shrugging up to the head, pulling up to your ears. The shoulder is down, the neck is nice and long. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. It's a little bit more movement at the top. I'm going to try and see if I can focus on the hips to see if I can focus on the lower back. If you're lying down, rolling over onto the back, you're setting your neutral as you're lying down. The knees are bent, the legs are nice and close together. Opening the arms out to the side, letting the arms relax down by the side. And then I'm just going to start off with a little pelvic tilt. So tilting the pelvis back, pressing the lower back gently into the mat, and then tilting forward back into neutral. If you're sitting up, see if you can think of rocking forward and back over the seat base. So I'm going to rock back. I'm trying to drop the tailbone, and then I'm going to try and rock forward, trying to lift the tailbone off the chair. Then tilting back, I'm going to roll down onto the tailbone, and then forward, see if I can lift it off the chair. So see if I can think of a little bit more movement at the very bottom of the spine. So easing off for some of the tension from the lower back and the back of the pelvis. If you're lying down, using the mat to guide you into that tilt, feeling the lower back pressing into the mat as I tilt the pelvis back, and then feeling the lower back is slightly lifting as I tilt forward. So rolling the hips forward and back. Noticing any tension into the legs to see if I can keep the legs as relaxed as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the hips, so relaxing the back. I'm going to stay into the lower back, but this time instead of going for a little forward and back tilt, I'm going to go for a little side to side hitch. So hitching the right hip up towards the rib cage and then coming back. Hitching the left hip up to the rib cage and then back. Hitching the right, easing back, hitching the left, easing back. So this time, instead of a forward and back movement, I've got a little side to side movement. If I'm sitting on the chair, imagine to be lifting one of the seat bins off the ground. So I'm going to try to hitch up on one side, ease back, hitch up on the other, and then ease back. And then if you're doing so, notice that tension into the side of the belly. So see if I can keep the side of the belly active to help me create that little lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the back, the lower back should be feeling a little bit looser. Less the stiffness. I'm going to see if I can start loading a little bit more. So if you're seated on the chair, imagine to be lifting off the chair. If you're lying down, pushing down through the soles of the feet, squeezing with the back of the bum, I'm going to drive the hips forward and up to see if I can lift the hips off the ground. Then I'm just going to ease back and then try again. So if you're sitting down, using the hands at the front of the legs, using the hands on the chair, on the desk, if you've got something in front of you, So if you can try and load the weight through the legs and then start creating a little bit more lift. Squeezing with the back of the hips, with the back of the bum to create that lift. If you're lying down, starting small, so see if I can get just about the hips to lift away from the mat. And then gradually, if I can, I'm going to lift the hips and the lower back off the floor too. Then coming down, see if I can go even higher, see if I can lift it to the point of resting onto the back of the shoulders. And then coming back again. 5, squeezing your way up. And then ease it back down. 4, squeeze it up. And then ease it down. 3. And back. 2. And then last one, a nice big squeeze to see if I can create a good lift. And release it back. Then giving the legs a little walk, making sure that the back of the leg doesn't feel too stiff, it doesn't feel too tight. I'm going to try and see if I can ease off some of the stiffness from the back of the leg. So if you're lying down, I'm going to bring the right leg up towards me and then hooking the hands behind that right thigh. I'm just going to rock the leg forward and back a few times, just a little side to side, to see if I can let the leg set into the hip socket. Imagine to drop it into the hip socket. Then from there, I'm just going to have the knee a little bit closer to the chest to see if I can try and ease some of the stiffness of the hip, or some of the tension from the hip and the back of the pelvis. If I'm sitting up, exactly the same. I'm going to try and bring the leg up and towards me. And then if I feel balanced enough on the chair, I'm going to try and bring the body forward into the leg. So see if I can encourage that flexion into the hip, so see if I can allow the hip to close down, creating a little stretch down the back of the pelvis and into the back of the hip, into the back of the bum. Just making sure that the stretch is not causing me pain. So aiming for the thigh to touch the belly, for the knee to get as close to the chest as possible. And then I'm just going to ease back. 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, relaxing the leg, allowing the foot to drop back and down onto the mat. I'm going to do the same thing with the left side. So I'm going to hook the hands behind that left leg and then bring it up. I'm going to try and jiggle it around just to see if I can really find a good combination between the top of the leg and the hip socket. And then once I've got that combination, then I'm just going to see if I can start closing the hip a little bit more. So bring the leg closer to the chest, bring the knee closer to the shoulder. If I'm seated, I'm going to try and kind of like meet the leg halfway. So I'm just going to lean forward slightly and then pull the leg towards me. Just making sure that you're leaning forward, there doesn't seem to be any pain shooting down the legs or radiating down the leg. So making sure that I'm not triggering any sciatica type of pain. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the hip, releasing the leg. It's a little bit more movement into the hip joint from an up and down. I'm going to try and see if I can get into a little side to side. So shuffling the feet and the knees nice and close together. And then I'm going to focus on the right leg first. I'm going to start opening the right leg out to the right, as far to the right as I can, and then I'm going to close it back to the center. Then I'm going to repeat on the right side. So I'm going to open the right leg out to the right as far as I can, and then back to the center again. So same as usual, it could be a very small movement, it could be a very big movement. Just to see if you can be aware, making sure that it's just the leg moving into the hip socket. It's not all of the hips are moving to the side with the legs, especially as if you're lying down, making sure that you don't feel your bum, you don't feel your hips are rocking towards the right. Just to see if I can keep the hips stable and then just move the right leg.
Arrivederci, Mickey. See you later. I'll see you next
See you
week.
later, Gary.
Next week. Bye, everybody.
So maintaining that movement to go on. If you feel that the leg is not moving much or it feels very tight, very restricted, then I'm going to use the hand to help me. So I'm going to push on the inside of the leg to encourage the leg to open out a little bit more. And then if I feel that it's the opposite, I feel that I'm struggling to bring the leg back in, I'm just going to use the hand on the outside of the leg to guide the leg back into that starting position. So I might decide that I need to push it out, or I might decide that I need to pull it back in. I might decide that I need to do both. And just to see if I can encourage as much movement as possible in the hip, but making sure that the movement is not causing me pain. 4. 3. 2. Last one, I'm going to hold the leg out to the right. See if I can apply gentle pressure, encouraging a gentle stretch of going through the inside of that leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to ease that leg all the way back. I'm going to try again. I'm going to open the right leg out to the right as far as they'll go. With the right hand, I'm going to reach for the inside of the right leg. And then think of the hand and the leg fighting together. So with the hand, I'm going to try and push the leg out. With the leg, I'm going to try and squeeze in. So the leg is not going to go anywhere, or I can feel a little bit more tension into the hip, into the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, squeezing the leg back to the middle. One more time. Pushing the leg out to the right. Hold it there. With the hand, I'm going to push out. With the leg, I'm going to try and squeeze in. So holding the tension between the two. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, to squeeze in the leg all the way back in. Releasing the hip, relaxing the leg. I'm going to try the same thing, but working on the left side. So I'm going to start off with a nice, easy opening and closing. So I'm going to start opening that left knee out to the left, and then closing it back to the center again. Same as I did on the right side. See if you can be aware of the movement happening in the hip joints, not in the pelvis. So especially if I'm lying down, making sure that I don't feel my hips are tipping towards the left and moving towards the side. See if I can keep them level, see if I can keep them steady. And then same as I did on the other leg, I feel that I need a little help to come back. I'm going to use the hand to help me squeeze the leg back to the middle. I feel that I need a little bit more help to open out. I'm going to use the hand on the inside of the leg to push the leg slightly off to the side. So see if I can create that smooth movement in and out, however small the movement is. 5, 4, 3, Last one, I'm going to hold the opening with a hand on the inside of the leg. I'm going to encourage a gentle pressure. I'm not resisting with the leg. I'm just trying to encourage as much stretch as possible to begin with. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to ease the leg back to the middle, and then this time I'm going to try and use the arm against the leg. So I'm going to open that leg out to the side. With that hand, I'm going to push out on the leg. This time with the leg, I'm going to resist and squeeze in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, deep breath in. As you breathe out, easing the leg back to the middle. 2 more times, opening that knee out to the left. With the hand, I'm going to push out. With the leg, I'm going to resist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, just squeezing the leg all the way back to the middle. Last time, opening the knee out to the side. With the hand, I'm going to push out. With the knee, I'm trying to squeeze in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the legs, releasing the hips. There's a little bit more connection into the hips and into the legs. I'm going to try and see if I can find a little bit more connection through the inner thigh. So I can feel those muscles already working with a little resisted push. This time I'm going to try and go for a squeeze. So you can put a pillow, a towel, or you can just clench the fist and then tuck them between the inner thigh, just to give a little something to squeeze against. So I can use anything. A book maybe a bit too uncomfortable, or something soft like a block should be all right between the knees. So I'm going to put the pillow, the block, or the hands between the knees, and then I'm just going to try and squeeze into the pillow this time. So I'm going to press as hard as I can, and then I'm going to ease that pressure. I'm going to press as hard as I can, and then ease the pressure. As you keep the pressure in and out, to see if you can be aware. So you see it when you were working with a single leg, resisting the arm or resisting the hand. See if you can be aware the 2 legs are working the same amount this time. So I don't want my right leg to do all the work, or my left leg to work too, and vice versa. So see if I can think of a nice even squeeze with both legs. And then I'm going to ease the pressure. And then squeeze again, and then ease the pressure. And then squeeze again, and then ease the pressure. And then if I feel that the tension is a little bit more even, so I can feel that little tension through the inner thigh. It's nothing massive, but I can feel it clicking, I can feel it connecting. See if you can try and do it, but this time see if you can do it quicker. So can I press and press and press and press and press and press and press, trying to squeeze as fast as I can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing the pressure. Pushing the pillow, pushing the blocker, pushing the towel out of the way to one side. And then allowing both knees to open out to the side. So encourage a little release through the inner thigh. So allowing the legs to flop. If I'm sitting up, using the hands to help me encourage a little bit more opening. As gravity is not working with me and can't help me, I'm going to use the arms to help me instead. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it back. Returning the legs back to the middle, giving the legs a little walk, adjusting the legs, giving the legs a little tap, a little rub. And then I'm going to try and focus a little bit more onto the upper body and the shoulders. What I want is to open up and lengthen the front of the body. So I'm going to start with one arm at a time. I'm going to start going for a front raise, raising the right arm up to the front. I'm going to reach it up, reach it behind as far as I can. And then using the arm back by the side. With the left arm, I'm going to do the same. So see if you can feel that nice lifting, especially as if I'm sitting on the chair. See if I can really encourage that lifting. So think of the arm taking you up, lifting you up, creating space at the front of the body. Using the other arm to give you a little support if you need to. Just making sure that I'm not trying to pull using my neck, so it doesn't feel as if the neck is stiffening and tensing. See if I can try and open up, as if I was trying to stretch the front of the armpit, lift and lengthen through the front of the chest. And then if I feel that the movement starts feeling a little bit more open, a little bit easier, then I'm going to do the same, but with both arms at the same time. So I'm going to reach and open the front of the body, and then I'm going to release. And then again, lift and open the front of the body, and then release. And then think of exaggerating the movement. So every time that the arms reach, think of the chest pushing forward and the back arching. I'm really trying to create as much space as possible, as much space as I can. Allowing the arms to open up wider, allowing the arms to come up higher, allowing the elbow to bend, to straighten. It's whatever works for your shoulders, whatever works for your arms. And then if I feel that the arm starts getting a little bit too heavy, I'm just going to reverse back to the single arm. So creating a nice lift, nice stretch down the right, nice lift, nice stretch down the left side of the body. 4, open it and close it. 3, 2, last one, and release it back. I'm releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. I've got a little bit more opening at the front of the body. I'm going to try and see if I can encourage more, changing the direction of the movement. I'm going to bend the elbows and then tuck the elbows into the side of the body. So I'm going to try and bring them as close to the waist as possible. And then keeping the elbows bent, I'm going to externally rotate the arms. So if you're seated, imagine to be holding a tray of glasses. I'm just going to play it down wider. I'm going to rotate the arms out and then drop my tray. Then I'm going to come back in and then I'm going to open out again. So see if I can encourage the arm to rotate into the shoulder socket, the front of the chest to open a little bit deeper, the front of the shoulder to work a little bit deeper. If I'm lying down, imagine to be holding a book in the palm of the hands. I'm going to rotate the arms out as if I was trying to get my thumbs to touch the floor and then rotating back. Notice how much easier it is to get the movement going if you let the elbows open out to the side. So the further away my elbows are from my body, the easier is the movement. The closer the elbows are to the side of the body, the harder, more restricted it becomes. So see if you can try and find the borderline movement that is giving you the stretch, that is challenging the movement, but it's not creating pain again. So I can move my arms. It doesn't feel painful, but I need a little bit more effort to create that movement. 3, opening and closing. 2, open and close. Last one. Open and release it back. Releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. Just a little bit more opening through the chest. I'm going to try one last time. I'm going to raise both arms straight ahead in front of me. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, opening the arms out to the side. I want you to reach them as wide as you can. Don't let them touch the floor, but keep pulling them to the side. As you had somebody to your right to pulling your right arm, and then somebody to the left to pulling at your left arm. It's the same thing if I'm seated. I'm just going to open the arms out to the side, and then I'm going to try and reach them out of the shoulder socket. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release them back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. When you're ready, rolling over onto the side, and in your own time, pushing yourself all the way back up into sitting. Finding a comfortable seated position, using the arms to offer a little support if you need to, changing the position of the legs, leaning against the wall or leaning against the sofa. If you've got something behind you, able to support you. And once that you feel that you've got a good steady position set, then I'm going to start working through the back. So I'm going to start extending my way up. So I'm going to center the chest forward. I'm going to try and lift the breast, but I'm going to look up. I'm going to try and look back, extending my way up. And then I'm going to release down, rounding into the back as much as I can. Imagine to be dropping your head down on the floor in front of it. And then coming back up, extending your way up, lifting through the front of the chest, opening up through the front of the throat, lengthening up, and then releasing back. Letting the head drop, the shoulders come forward, rounding and dropping as far as I can. Last time, extending up, lifting up, as much space as you can create, as much opening as you can create, and then releasing back. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back, take your bow, give yourself a clap for that. Any question or anything as usual, please say. Remember, you need to unmute yourself.